Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's me, DIGI. Welcome back to FS 2020. We are doing a offline flight, but we are going to be using ATC, courtesy of my wonderful, amazing DIGI fam community. I've been alerted to the opportunity to take part in a SAYINTENTIONS beta. So, I'm trying a free tier of SAYINTENTIONS, and I'm going to be flying offline, but with ATC, using SAYINTENTIONS and FS2CREW in the Southwest Airlines November 600 Whiskey November registration as Southwest 197 on SAYINTENTIONS.ai. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Happy to have you aboard, whether you are watching live or on the replay, or you are lurking alongside. Wish you a very, very pleasant Thursday evening. And to my brothers and sisters in Christ, hello, and I wish you a wonderful Monday, Thursday. Today, tomorrow is Good Friday, and I celebrate the sacrifice and the price paid for me in the death and substitutionary atonement of Jesus Christ, my Savior, on the cross for my sins. He died to save us all from hell and so that all of us could spend eternity in heaven with Him through His completed payment on the cross and His resurrection from the dead. We celebrate that on Easter Sunday. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hopefully, you're doing very well. I'm just double checking my sound levels, and we should be ready to go very shortly. Again, we're going to be flying offline, but we're going to be having ATC because we're using this wonderful thing called SAYINTENTIONS, which I had seen other people use before, but I had not bothered trying myself. So we're going to be doing that this evening on stream, even though I already have a flight in the bag, so to speak, that did a couple of nights ago, I want to say. Again, we're flying a Southwest 197, and we're going to be getting out of here shortly, just as soon as we get the ball rolling. So, we're going to do that by getting the ball rolling. We get the ball rolling by getting the ball rolling. Ha! It's what I do, folks. It's what I do. All right, so we are in the flight deck, and let me just double check the tail registration. It is November 600 Whiskey November. It is. Crafton Fur, welcome aboard, my friend. Very happy to have you aboard with us as we fly southwest to Phoenix today. I am in the bespoke version of San Francisco International Airport. Actually, no, this was a payware that I got for free as a result of a giveaway. And next to me is my wonderful and amazing first officer, whom I forgot the name of, so I'm going to check. Doesn't give me a name, so I'm going to give him one. He is Ernesto. Ernesto is my wonderful first officer, and we're going to be flying down to Phoenix. So let's go ahead and get him started by doing the usual, firing off the command that says,
Check.
let's start setting up.
Roger.
Oh, hold on. I need to change my voice. Hello? What in the world? Where did my screen go? There we go. That's better. And that would be. You know what? Closest thing I can do is this. There we go. We should be fine. Looks like a brave chap. Absolutely. Absolutely. An amazing dude. I'm just going to go ahead and call him Fabio for today because Fabio is the voice accent that we have. So let's go ahead and get started. He already turned on, excuse me, the battery for me. I'm going to go downstairs and make sure we have our ground power hooked up. I'm going to do it courtesy of good old PMDG itself. And once this light turns on, we can go ahead and get ground power on and get standby power or power on the bus. So now we have ground power, and I'm going to go upstairs and start doing the usual prep work. And since FS2CREW integrates really well with GSX, they're going to be taking care of the door opening and closing actions for me. As a matter of fact, we already have a 30-minute timer, so once the timer's up, we can push back. Which means I am on the clock even as we speak. Looks like Fabio left me to do the alignment and nav setup, which is fine. I'm cool with that. But this is the first time I've used SAYINTENTIONS with FS2CREW, so it's going to be a very interesting flight nonetheless. I don't know why I can't push that button. There we go. There we go. Now we're fine. Get the dome light on to bright, and let's get started. So while we do all these things, I'm going to go ahead and check in with ATC as well and get clearance set too. So I'm going to keep a notepad open so that I can actually do my clearance and whatnot. But before I do any of that, I do need to get my comm set and figure out where we are. So I'm going to go ahead and import my flight plan into Navigraph charts. Absolutely, Crafted Fur. Appreciate the lurk. Feel free to hang around as long as you like, and if you have to go, I understand. God bless you, and wishing you all the best for your Good Friday celebrations as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the airport chart for San Francisco. San Francisco clearance is 118.2. Let's tune that right now. All right, friends. Okay, now, they do like to get me set on the APU as quickly as possible, so we do have the APU already going. So I'm not going to turn the beacon light on because I think that would trigger some passenger boarding flows. So I'm just going to focus on getting the getting the radio frequency set up for my call, and we'll pad some more fuel in once we're done. But they will load me, and I've already filed my flight on SimBrief, so GSX will also have my information available too, or should have my information available. But let's go ahead and tune in clearance first, which is 118.2. 118.2. I like that FS2CREW is handling my GSX stuff for me. It just helps me really get going here. And let me check. D8 is 115.8, so I'll do that next.
San Francisco, clearance delivery. Do we turn back to ground?
United 926 Heavy, you are on the clearance frequency. Contact ground for taxi instructions.
Looks like we've got some people nearby that are going to be using SAYINTENTIONS as well. This is cool. Okay, like I said, my FO is handling my my operations. We're going to go ahead and pick... Oh, wait. Nope. Nope. I didn't request deboarding. Hopefully I didn't actually accidentally trigger something. But that's fine. And if we do have folks hanging out on the ship, it's a surprise. Hopefully I didn't bork this up, but we'll see.
Eyes 28 right, 28 left, 19er right. Departing runways 28 left, 19er left, 19er right. Caution bird activity. Advise on initial contact you have information uniform. San Francisco International Airport, information.
Okay, so I have... What's that? I have 28 right for departure, but they actually said departure's on 28 left, so we'll see what the ATC does for me. Okay, and good news, me accidentally pushing a button on GSX did not bork up the departure roll because I think FS2CREW is overriding my inputs for that, which is fine.
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Go for it.
Thanks.
San Francisco clearance, good evening. Actually, you know what? It flipped on me.
Ramp
Weird.
agent requests are not supported in open sky.
Yeah, I kinda got that.
ER vibe at 8.
I need
Visibility 10.
118.85.
Sky conditions. View at 1800
No,
feet.
118.2.
View at 2900 feet. Scattered at 20,000 feet. Temperature 14. Dew point 7.
San Francisco clearance, good evening. Southwest 197, Boeing 737-600, IFR to Phoenix with information uniform.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute.
Okay. Just like VATSIM. Looks like even the AI is busy. Okay, so just be pending. I'll be pending their info, but we're just going to go ahead and get our stuff started as well.
Southwest 197, San Francisco clearance cleared to Phoenix via the Gap 7 departure. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 6,000. Expect flight level 39010 minutes after departure. Departure on 135.1, squawk 3643. And a change to your departure runway this time. You can expect runway 19er right.
Southwest 197 is cleared to Phoenix with a Gap 7 departure. Climbing to 6,000, flight level 39010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 135.1, squawking 3643, expecting runway 19er right for departure.
Southwest 197, read back correct.
Superb, let's go. Alright, so we're going to change the squawk code because we got it. It's going to be 3643. 3643. Got it. And my FO already set the transponder to mode Charlie. We're on clearance right now, so we're going to do ground for pushback, I think. But we do need to finish getting set up first. So, let's see. Let me double check my OFP. I think I can get it on the pad. Get data from SimBrief. Okay, there we go. We got the data. Let's go to the performance tool and start figuring out what takeoff performance is going to be like. We're taking 19er right. And we are going to be importing the aircraft data from, let's see, CG2373, no anti-ice packs on, import the weather, and we're going to calculate performance numbers. 133, 134, 140, but let's get the flight plan inserted first. Yeah, my frame rate's tanking for some reason. Let me just double check. We should be okay. Should be okay. Let's get everything set up. Pause it, we should be good. Let's go ahead and set up reference airport as Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar, which is San Francisco, and the gate I'm not sure of, and even if I had a number it'd probably be wrong, so I'm not going to worry about that. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I guess we're fine. Did I though? Where's the index? Where is the index? Do I have an index page anywhere here? No, I think we're okay at this point. Okay, flight number Southwest 197. Runway 19er right. 16 minutes to go. We should be fine. And let's go ahead and go to departure. Departing 19er right is selected. No, I don't want to deboard crew. No. We should be fine. They're taking care of it for me. Gap 7 departure is selected. Route, activate. Let's go to performance init. And let's see, what numbers are we expecting on today's flight? The briefing shows me fuel 18,500 pounds, Let's put another 1,000 in just since we're burning through it already. So let's do 19,500. And payload. Payload is going to be a total of 28,100 pounds. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. Zero fuel weight's 114.5. And the takeoff config is 24.5%. So I'll try to remember that number. 114.5. And planned reserves are 4,300 for the max. Cost of for today's flight is 33. And planned fuel for today is going to be 14,220. Is it? Wait, yeah, 14,002. So at least 14.2. We're going to be okay. We're going up to flight level 390, and cruise winds at 390 are going to be 009 at 064. Okay, there are my cruise winds. We'll execute that, and then we're going to go ahead and check for 19 right at Frisco. We're going to have 7,650 feet. Considering how we're going to be taking off kind of sort of into the hillside, we're going to do a full takeoff, no derate. And if I take a look at my EFB, the EFB says we're going to be taking off flaps 1. So flaps will be 1. And we said 24.5 for the CG, which means we're going to be doing 5.08 for the trim. Here we go. Now, while I'm doing the trim, I'm going to make like I'm actually talking to my FO and running the departure briefing just with kind of like a canned, a canned description of what's going to be happening, more or less. And then I'll be taking care of some stuff. This is so that when we get to the point in the checklist when we're going and we're checking whether or not we did the departure briefing, even though I barely do any in my sim flights, this will help me get that part of the checklist done.
Are you ready for the departure brief? Go ahead. Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off the gate. Taxi route will be as assigned by ATC. Will be a left seat takeoff using rated thrust. Planning a flaps 1 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. Standard reject actions to V1 as brief from V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue to take off as per standard company procedures. The engine out procedure today is as per the chart. We're under our maximum landing weight, so we're okay to make an immediate return. Okay, all going well. The departure routing will be via the ATC. No noise abatement procedures required. Flight directors are on. Mine is master. Yours is slave. Navigation radius are set. The NOTAMs and the aircraft defect log have been reviewed. Any questions, comments, or concerns? No questions. Departure brief complete.
Okay. Now the initial flight plan was the gap of the Westla 5, but we're going to remove that and we're going to choose the Gap 7. Gap 7 should be fine since we should have it available unless I don't see one. There we go, Gap 7. And we're going to transition at norm. Right, since we're taking off. Wait. Gap 7, but 19 right departure? That's a little weird. Whatever. They're going to give me vectors anyway, and I'm going to be climbing. I'm going to be going full throttle out of there, so I'm not worried about it at all. We'll be landing 25 left at Phoenix, so I need to know, excuse me, what runway I'm using, 25 left. So I will probably be using ILS for 25 left, and just add to final, which is going to be Gypsy. And there we go. Okay, so we've already boarded. They've already got us boarded. All of the stuff is done, which is great. They're literally waiting on me, so let's go. Now, out of Frisco, 19er right has a magnetic deviation of 194 degrees. So we're going to set that up for heading, and we're going to set the course heading for 194 in case we need to make a return to the airport. Don't plan on it, but always good to have that stuff available just in case something happens. And the approach for 25 left at Phoenix is going to be 258. So we'll put this one on the FO side. T-Rex did you the day off. Nice. Welcome on NCCA. Well, we're storming Arizona, sir, so pick your target. Yeah, we're going to be dropping a whole bunch of water balloons.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today. As you locate
All right,
your
so
assigned seats,
clearly the flight attendants are waiting for me to get my rear in gear, so I don't want to waste too much time.
contact the flight attendant.
That's
If you are
funny.
unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the boarding door and we will check it for you.
Phoenix is
Also,
dust.
please
Let's
use
go.
the safety instruction card in your seat pocket. If you are seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating
Hey
criteria.
guys,
Okay.
all packs are on board. Are we clear to close?
Clear to close, long taxi.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
Like I said, FS2CREW is really taking care of me in terms of immersion. Good to see you as well, CCA. Glad to have you aboard. Friends, my friend CCA is a Twitch personality and likes to put up music from video game systems on YouTube. CCA, feel free to drop a link to your channel on YouTube so they can follow you and listen to your stuff there. Also, the both of us are on Blue Sky Social, so don't be shy, friend. Pop those links up. Okay, now I need to wrap my stuff up and I need to make sure I have my speeds set aside for our departure. So, before I do that, let's just double check and go here. Excuse me, Mr. First Officer, we're going to have your stuff set aside. Okay, and we're going to be doing 134 as the V2 speed. 134 is set. Flight directors are already on. VNAV and LNAV are set. I can finish setting up my legs now, which is what I'm going to do before we get out of here. We're going to be going KX should be norm, KX, lotion, norm, 2 M's? Yes, norm, KX, and then we're going to be going to lotion. Plenty of directs on this flight. Nice, Beeper Cafe. Thanks. Boil. And then we're going to be going to Bravo Lima Hotel, which is probably a part of the Hydra 1 arrival. Let's take a look at the arrival into Phoenix. Let's do this. Hydra 1 arrival for 25 left. 25 left. And there we go. Transition, Bravo Lima Hotel. There's the flight plan. We're vectoring to norm, boil, and then we're going to have a discontinuity before we get to the actual top of drop, which we'll fix when we actually take off. I'm not worried about messages for performance numbers. Let's go ahead and get started with the pushback ASAP. We are ready to go, at least on paper. What am I missing? We've got auto throttle armed, VNAV, LNAV set, V2 speed set, departure heading set, initial altitude set. I need to set my minimums for arriving at Phoenix. Minimums are going to be 1,326 feet. So we're going to Set that up right now on my MFD, or PFD, excuse me. This is taking a very long time, but that's okay. We're doing 1326. Let's go. That should be a lot faster. Nice. So 2504 dropped. I might have to update mine, but thanks for the heads up. All right, 1326. We're pretty close. There we go. 1326. Biro set. Let's go upstairs. Make sure cruise control is set. Cruise control. Cruise altitude. It's 39,000 feet. And landing altitude at Phoenix is going to be 1,135 feet. So that's pretty close to 1150. And that's what we'll set up. Also, let's get the circuit breaker light going, and now we should be able to push back very shortly. ARM and x86. Nice. Okay, now we can go ahead and get out of here. Turn the overhead light off, do a stall warning test. Good, we're good. And we should be okay. Now, we'll get the fuel pumps going as long as I know how many fuel pumps I'm using. I'm using all of them. And my FO is going to be turning off my fuel pumps if any of them get to low pressure or empty state. The APU is running right now, so now we have the battery set to APU gen, and that should be it. I don't know why you are doing the weird thing. ClickSpot's behaving really weird, but that's okay. All right. Let's go ahead and double check. They're going to be taking care of my packs, I think. Scooter, welcome aboard, friend. I am liking SAYINTENTIONS. Seriously, who learns on this stuff? Well, the people that actually fly the plane. I mean, I do it for fun. Let's get going. Let me call GSX, and actually, before I do that, let me switch over to ground frequency, because they're going to tell me where to push. Ground is 121.8. Okay. San Francisco ground, Southwest 197, ready to push and start.
Southwest 197, San Francisco ground, push and start approved. Tail southwest.
Push and start approved, tail southwest, Southwest 107. How appropriate, but let's go. Freeze ground power, indeed. Yep, my FO is handling the ground power disconnect. This is superb, man. Apps key. Alright, here we go. Before start, checklist, please.
We're ready for pushback.
Logbook.
Let me get my checklist out.
Final approach checklist complete.
Hey. The Stimulator Pilot, thank you very much for the resub, 4 months. Thank you so much for your support,
Departure
Fred.
check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Logbook. Aboard. Aboard.
Landing gear pins.
3 aboard.
Fire warning and overheat.
Checked.
Start levers.
Locking gear.
Cut off.
Stab trim cutoff switches.
Normal.
FMC.
Set and checked.
Briefings.
Programmed.
Briefings.
Complete.
Oxygen mask and quantity.
Stand by. Checked.
EECs.
On.
Navigation switches.
Simulator Pilot, we're doing a flight to Phoenix today, enjoying some AI goodness. Oof, a month of premium scooter, very nice.
Acher 13. Dew point 7. Altimeter 29906. Density altitude -200 feet. Arriving runways 28 right,
Commencing push.
28 left,
All
19
engines clear.
right.
Start at will.
Departing runways 28 left, 19 left, 19 right. Advise on initial contact.
Alright, so we release the parking brakes. We can go ahead and hit the clock button. Repeat last.
Navigation switches.
Normal.
Display switches.
Oh my gosh. The Simulator Pilot, I'm so sorry to hear that. That your PC just flaked. Auto and normal.
Fuel.
19.4 clear with 2.15 center pumps on.
Passenger signs.
Auto.
Window heat.
On.
Hydraulic pumps.
A's off, B's on.
Pressurization.
Repeat last.
Set parking brakes.
Pressurization.
Stand by. Yeah, parking brakes are set. Repeat last.
Pressurization.
Oh, pressurization. Set. Set auto.
Flight instruments.
Set and checked.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Takeoff warning horn.
Checked.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Transponder is TARA. TARA. Try it again. TARA.
Aileron and rudder trim.
Centered.
Before start, originating checklist complete.
Before push checklist. Before push checklist.
0 fuel weight.
114.5 set.
Takeoff weight.
One two 8.7 cross checked.
PWB remarks.
Reviewed.
N1s.
92.1 over 92.1 reduced set. Set and checked.
Runway.
Repeat last. Repeat last.
Runway.
Set and checked.
Flaps.
PWB 1 CDU 1. PWB 1 CDU 1.
B speeds.
125, 126, 134 set.
Stab trim.
5.08 set.
Minimum cleanup altitude.
$6,000 set.
Flight deck door.
Lights out.
Before push, checklist complete.
Okay, let's set the parking brake because it apparently doesn't have it. And
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
start right engine.
Start an engine 2.
Okay, sorry for the delay, guys. I'm trying to catch up to the virtual ATC as
Oil
well as
pressure.
my schedule. He's going to take care of the engine start for me. But again, wishing everybody a very good evening today, and the Simulator Pilot again, really sorry to hear about your PC. I'm hoping that everything gets sorted for you really quick.
Light off.
Okay, will take a little while for everything to get sorted. Let's just make sure upstairs is good. Yaw damper is on. All the fuel pumps are on. APUs are running. Anti-collision light is on. Fabio took care of that for me. Logo light on. Isolation valve is auto. Packs are off and bleeds are on. Now, I technically don't even have to answer start left engine.
Start in engine 1.
I technically don't even have to use the GSX menu at this point, because once we get the engines started, the FS2CREW GSX integration is going to allow me to tell them that the engines are good. Alright, while that left engine's coming up, let's just make sure flaps are set to 1. Set flaps 1. Flaps 1.
Light off.
He'll do flaps 1 for me in a bit. And I'll reset fuel flow now. Auto brake RTO. And we have pressure set, minimums set. We'll be a little late getting off the ground, but I'm not worried about that too much.
Roll back.
Okay, we should be done now. Cockpit to ground, good start confirmed. Please disconnect. And you'll hear the sound.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Alright, so that means I think he's going to take care of the gens and the probe heat. I'll let him do that, and if he doesn't do that by the time I'm done, we should be ready. But I'm going to go ahead and check in with ground, and let's just see where we are. Ground Southwest 197, looking to taxi runway 19er right with uniform.
Southwest 197, San Francisco clearance. You are currently on the clearance frequency. Please contact ground on 121.8 for taxi instructions.
121.8, swap it over right now. San Francisco ground, Southwest 197, looking to taxi runway 19er right with with uniform.
Southwest 197, San Francisco ground. Taxi to runway 19er right via 6. Alpha Echo, cross runway 10 right, then cross runway 10 left at your discretion.
Taxi 19er right via 6, Alpha Echo, cross runway 10 right, cross runway 10 left at our discretion, Southwest 197. They are gone. Okay, we're going to make a left turn out to here, and then we're going to be getting out of here to taxi to 1 on our right. Excuse me. Before taxi checklist.
Electrical.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight.
Generators on.
Probe heat.
Speaking. Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for port
On.
safety information.
Anti-ice.
There is an instruction card in
Off.
the pocket
Flight
that
controls.
demonstrates the safety equipment on this aircraft.
Full left. We use systems. Yeah, here we go. Full left. Full right. Full forward. Full back. Full left rudder. Full right rudder. Flight controls. Free. Free.
Flight deck windows.
Closed and locked.
Flaps.
Pretty sure they're closed and locked.
United 926, heavy, boat 777, requesting to cross runway 10 left.
Repeat last.
United 926 Heavy, cross runway 10 left, approved.
CDO1 indicates green light. Set and checked.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Departure plan checklist.
Briefings.
United 926 heavy, requesting to cross runway 19 right.
United 926 Heavy, cross runway 19 right, approved.
PWB remarks.
Reviewed.
And once.
Set and checked.
Runway.
19 right set.
Flaps.
PWB1, CDU1.
B speeds.
125, 126, 134 set.
Stab trim.
5.08 set.
Minimum cleanup altitude.
6,000 set. Okay, we are good. Start them off wrong. Start them off young, I say. We can go ahead and let go of the parking brake because we're going to get out of here. There we go. Taxi light on. I don't think they recognize that command, so that's fine. Anyone else speak droid? Well, I'm learning. I got Olama installed. I'm trying to use some LLMs to help me a little bit. I find that LLMs help me do some of the busy work when I'm a developer, but they still don't do some of the stuff that are really, like high tech. So I'm not worried about that. We're taxiing 19 right via 6 Alpha Echo, crossing 10 right and then 10 left at my discretion. So this is 6 is over here. I see. Gotcha. 6 and then Alpha and then a left on Echo. Alright. Looking pretty clean. Lyles, welcome aboard, friend. Happy to have you. Welcome aboard. We just left the terminal in San Francisco. A little behind schedule, but that's no problem. We're going to be going to Phoenix today. And since we're crossing a runway, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the strobe light now. Here is Echo. Alright. Bye-bye, San Fran. Hope you folks got your trolley rides in, because we are out of here. With water balloons. Okay. Yep. Crossing 10 left. No big. No biggie. Be good, fam. Alright, so going up Echo. And then what I can probably do is tune the tower. We're going to be tuning the tower. What's the frequency for the tower? Tower is 120.5 as I deviate from the taxiway line. Alright, let's get that set. 120.5. Jim on. I don't want to be in the drink. There we go. Swap.
United 926 Heavy. Request and take off of runway 28 right.
This is the BMDG 737, yes.
United 926 Heavy, runway 28 right, winds 270 at 8, cleared for takeoff.
Clear to take off runway 28 right.
Stop so quickly. This is the 736, actually. The 737-600. Southwest livery. San Francisco Tower, or San Francisco Tower, Southwest 197, holding short 19 right at Echo. Oh, excuse me, I was hitting the wrong button. San Francisco Tower, Southwest 197, holding short 19 right at Echo. Itty bitty plane.
Southwest 197, San Francisco Tower, runway 19 right, winds 270 at 8, RNAV Barton, cleared for takeoff.
RNAV Barton, 19 right, clear for takeoff, Southwest 197. Okay. Give me the lights. Lights are in. Wing lights on. Chronos on. Puddle jumper. I prefer to think of it as a, more custom experience. There we go. Overtreaded. That's fine. We'll correct. Approaching the departure runway. Before takeoff checklist.
Minimum takeoff fuel.
Alright, standby chat. Minimum takeoff fuel is... should be 13.2 or 13.3. Let me double check. $14.2. Checked. Set and checked.
Departure plan.
Complete.
Attendant notification.
Complete.
Electrical.
Generators on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Packs.
Auto. Auto.
Leads.
Engines on. APU off.
Start switches.
Continuous. Set and checked.
APU.
Off.
Flaps.
Set and checked.
Start levers.
Idle.
Recall.
Checked.
before takeoff checklist complete.
Runway 19 right verified, final is clear.
Final is clear.
Set takeoff thrust 91.3.
Thrust set.
Okay, here we go, 40% N1. Let's go.
United 926 Heavy, contact departure.
United 926, contact and depart.
Steen.
United 926 Heavy, contact departure on 128.325.
Positive rate of climb.
Landing gear up.
Positive rate, landing gear up.
Flaps up.
Flaps up.
Select autopilot on. Oof, wow. Really going for it.
Southwest 197, contact departure.
Departure, Southwest 107. Thank you. Command A is on. Okay, NorCal 135.1. Contact NASA departure. Nice. SoCal departure, Southwest 107, 5,000 for 6,000 on the gap 7.
6,000.
Set speed, climb thrust. More cowbell.
Roger.
Departure, Southwest 107, 6,000 on the gap 7. Might be on the wrong departure frequency, but we'll double check that. Departure, Southwest 107, 6,000 on the gap 7 departure. Okay, this might be the wrong one, so we'll do 120.9er.
Southwest 197, NorCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb and maintain flight level 230, Southwest 197. Set altitude 23,000.
2,000 set.
Set altitude 23,000.
3,000 set.
Set VNAV. VNAV. Doesn't always recognize that, so all good. No, we're not breaking low. It doesn't recognize it when I do 3,000, but it recognizes 23,000. Alright, so I'll do my own after takeoff checklist flows. Taxi lights are up. Flight switch is continuous through 10,000 feet. Strobe lights are on. Logo, anti-collision and wing lights on. Flaps are up. Gear is off. We're good. The voice recognition is actually very good. There are some commands that they don't work really well with, but for the most part, this is actually a very good process. Seven minutes into the flight, I'm happy. Alright, we're crossing 10,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and set course setting on this side to the FO side. 10,000 feet.
Southwest 197, climb and maintain flight level 280.
Climb and maintain flight level 280, Southwest 197. I'll take care of that one. Okay, so course is set. Set heading 210.
2107.
Yeah, you kind of just have to speak with more confidence with this thing. I'll say, set VNAV, landing gear down. No, 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 no. That would be such a meme. Alright, so we can turn landing switch, engine start switches off. Let's go upstairs. That would be such a troll move. Set VNAV, landing gear down. No! Lap that hand. Stop it. Okay, so let's see. Yard Apper's on. You know what we could do? We could set Gen 1 and TR1. Okay, now we've got power coming from where it needs to come from. There we go. We'll let the flight attendants know they can start going about their duties. And let's see, window heats, probe heats, hydraulics doing the thing, packs, isolation valves, set to auto,
Southwest 197,
bleeds.
contact Oakland Center on 134.15.
Oakland Center 134.15, Southwest 107. $18,000 feet, standard set.
Standard set.
Southwest 197.
Standard set. Oakland Center, Southwest 197, flight level 190 for 280. We'll begin in-flight refreshment service shortly.
Southwest 197, Oakland Center, good afternoon.
Okay, landing lights off, taxi lights off, gears off, flaps up. Start switches off. And I'll turn the fuel pumps off for the center since they're basically spent. And what else are we missing? Not much right now. I can and should tune the ILS for the approach into Phoenix at this point. It is going to be 110.75. Then we'll swap them out. 110.75. Course settings already set at 258 for the approach. Hydro 1 arrival has some control over the altitudes expected, but I'm assuming ATC is going to give me altitudes to pursue. Speaking of which, since I'm not on VATSIM, I don't have to worry about descending at any specific point in time, or the ATC will tell me. So what I should do is clean up the flight plan, because I noticed where are we going actually? Let's see. I'm probably out over the ocean. Oh, it's not that bad actually. Let's go ahead and correct. Oakland Center, Southwest 197, request direct Lotion.
Southwest 197, direct routing approved. Proceed direct to Lotion.
Direct Lotion, Southwest 197. Let's fix that. Boom. And now I can clean up my flight plan, and we're good. Also, we'll begin our left turn. And let's double check our reserves. I'm not going to be going up to the alternate, so I think we should still have enough. I banked on an additional 1,000 pounds of fuel, so I think we're going to be okay. So, all things considered, you know, managing a departure, talking to FS2CREW, having FS2CREW integrate with GSX.
Southwest 197, climb and maintain flight level 390.
390, Southwest 197. I'm happy with what I've seen so far. This is good stuff. Theoretically speaking, you know, the communications and the integration between captain and first officer will be way smoother, way faster, usually. So I would imagine there wouldn't be as much of an issue with, you know, reading or reading back ATC instructions. The FO will probably be doing that, and having either the captain handle some of those AP settings, or having the FO do it for him. But again, I'm really happy to be doing this in the PMDG 737 with GSX and FS2CREW and SAYINTENTIONS. This is just kind of like a soup to nuts, top to bottom experience that I'm really happy to be undergoing and enjoying today. Yeah, seriously, it FS2CREW, like having an actual first officer in the on the flight deck and having them help me with flows, having FS2CREW provide GSX integration, and just taking care of so much of the stuff that I'd be handling myself. It literally, I kid you not, it literally transforms the experience into something incredible, into something approaching the level of busyness and simultaneously the level of chill that I like to see. Now, can't do 280 knots at Skull, don't really care. Let's just make sure we get our... Oh, we already have approach ref. We're going to do flaps 30 when we get to Phoenix, which means my ref plus 5 speed is going to be 139 knots, which is fun. And if I double check the flight plan again, once we get to Bravo Lima Hotel, we begin the arrival. And the Hydra 1 arrival takes me all the way down to a place where I can do vectors to Gypsy, which is the approach into Phoenix. Okay, now, before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the vector, just because I can, just so I don't forget, and that way the VNAV will really have everything it needs to get me down to the ground. We are at flight level 330 and we're approaching cruise. Oh yeah, it balances the workload. I'm a big believer of that. So let's go ahead and just notify the flight attendants that I want something.
Hi, Andy at L1. How can I help you?
1 tea, please.
Okay, I'll bring them up in a minute.
Hi guys, here are the drinks.
Thank you. That's just dope. Little extra immersion. It just... In one fell swoop between GSX and FS2CREW integration, the flight deck has taken on a life of its own. To say nothing of the airplane. But since I can't open the flight deck door in the 736, I can't see the passengers in the interior. I can only see them board and disembark. But if I ever get my hands on a 737, 700, or 800 model, I'll be able to see that. Or if I get, like, for example, the Phoenix, and then I buy FS2CREW integration for that, then I would be able to see that as well. Okay, so folks, give me a moment. I'm going to go ahead, step away from the flight deck, and unlike VATSIM, I can just step away from the flight deck and have SAYINTENTIONS politely pester me as long as it wants to, you know, have me comply with some sort of instruction. I don't plan to be away for more than a couple of minutes, just to basically get something from Mrs. DIGI, make sure I'm set, and then we'll continue on our way to Phoenix this evening. But again, thank you so much to everybody that stopped by tonight so far and said hello. We are enjoying some wonderful, wonderful meme-tastic flying footage in FS 2020 as we continue to Phoenix. Sit tight, friends. BRB.
Three, 8,000, 4, 3, 9,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we'll begin our meal service for the flight. Please refer to the menu given to you on boarding for the 2 meal choices and your
Alright friends, I am back. Thanks so much for waiting for me. Let me double check and see if I missed any messages on SAYINTENTIONS. We went up to flight level 390, which is where we are right now. So we should be good. Alright. Thank you, Fred. We are cruising along in FS 2020, and hello to my friend Fuzzy Pickles. Welcome, buddy. Very nice to have you. Introductions. I actually drank my coffee earlier this evening. If I drink coffee now, I'll be up to like 4 in the morning, like almost guaranteed, or something. But then again, I drink 3 cups of coffee a day, so I think if I did that, I would literally crash, and just like zonk on a pillow at like 2 a.m. You, what? The flight attendant says there's no peanuts available. Bring them in here. We need to talk. Janet, Janet. Yes. Yes. Did you bring the backup shipment of peanuts? Oh, okay, fine. That's fine. Not worried about it. Go to my locker, back galley, drawer 2. I keep a private stash. Go ahead, bring them out. But are there pretzels? Oh, we got pretzels by the bucket. So you should be fine. Although officially my favorite in-flight snack is Biscoff cookies. So that is my jam right there. I'm fortunate that most, if not all, the flights that I've been on over the past few years have had those in ample supply. So we're fine. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, I'm very happy that those flights have not changed. First off, fantastic. 10 out of 10 service is what we strive for. Second off, Mrs. Digi had some frozen ice cream in the back from a place called Wawa. I told you guys I'm Mid-Atlantic, and Wawa does operate quite a few, gas stations and foodstuff places. So I had a few really cold spoonfuls of ice cream. No brain freeze, but man, that stuff was cold. he got it. One of our cats got it, some licks of the ice cream, but that's fine. Ice cream is cool, man. I mean, literally. Ice cream is nice to enjoy, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's a great way. It's an especially great way to get comfortable on a hot day. But even when it's cold, I like ice cream. I think maybe there's certain flavors of ice cream that I gravitate towards depending on the time of year. Although I don't think that's the case. I think I like certain flavors of ice cream all the time anyway. I don't know if anybody's tried anything like coconut ice cream or like coffee, but there are other flavors as well. Ice cream is cool. So, welcome aboard, everybody. On tonight's episode, of the Flight Sim Talk Show. We have flavors of ice cream being discussed. Chocolate is a wonderful flavor. So is strawberry. A long time ago, I think I even tried pistachio mint, and that's actually a pretty interesting flavor. The wackiest flavor of ice cream I think I ever tried was, at one time, it was coffee ice cream. There was also um, something called guanabana, which is a tropical fruit. And the best way that I can describe that flavor is kind of like, almost like a tart fruit, but with this very nice, smooth, sweet edge. I'm trying to think of something that I can compare it to, but I don't think so. It's some flavors are hard to describe, but I used to eat a whole bunch of that, and I kind of miss not trying it. Hey, Crafton Fur, welcome back, friend. Greetings from flight level 390. We have long since left San Francisco. Let me see where we are on the map. Actually, we are on our way to Lotion, which is a waypoint. We are, I guess you could say, we're between San Francisco and Burbank, and then we're going to be flying on the outskirts of the LA area, probably flying just past Palm Springs, and then we'll be getting to a
Southwest 197, contact Oakland Center on 132.8.
we'll be going to Blythe eventually. 132.8 Southwest 197. Okay, let's switch over. One 132.8. Standard good evening, Southwest 197, flight level 390.
Southwest 197, Oakland Center, good evening.
Center Southwest 197, checking if there's been any turbulence or rough rides reported.
Southwest 197, no turbulence or rough rides reported at your current altitude.
Pretty good, pretty good. If I ever go to Singapore, I have to try durian ice cream. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Durian is basically what I've heard to be a polarizing fruit. You either like it or you don't. But with that said, I have had particularly sour, particularly fragrant fruit in the past. So I get the feeling that I would like durian ice cream. I don't know if I'd like durian itself as a fruit, but I think I'd be willing to give durian ice cream a shot, even if it's only once. I have a feeling I've actually tried something similar to durian in the past, but I don't know what durian tastes like, so I won't be able to confirm. I will say that I would be interested to give it a shot. I'd be interested to go over there at some point as well. I think if I was planning a list of bucket list trips, Japan would be on that list. I would probably want to go to Singapore and then go to Perth, Australia, and Sydney to see some friends. And sheesh, I mean, maybe swing by Dubai once, go to the Maldives, and then come back up through East London in South Africa, and then go back up to, like, say, I don't know, Marrakesh and Lisbon, Barcelona, and then go to either Toulouse or Lyon or Nice, and then maybe check out Italy, fly back up through, say, Innsbruck or Vienna. Probably Vienna. Ooh, Vienna. You know, a tour, a world tour. So the durian taste in ice cream is not as strong as the durian taste of the fruit itself. I kind of figured as much. Or at least that would have been that wouldn't have been my guess, but that makes sense. So, I mean, clearly we've got the ice cream flavor situation on lock here, which is cool. Confessions of a flight
Southwest
sim pilot.
197, contact Los Angeles Center on 127.1.
127.1 Southwest 197. Stand by that confessional. 127.1 Los Angeles Center, Southwest 197, flight level 390.
Southwest 197, Los Angeles Center, good evening.
All right. My brain was fried today. What are the chances of my PC SSD giving up? Well, I will say a couple of years ago, fall of 2023, my one SSD croaked. It literally just died. I was working on something, and over the past, I think, weeks leading up to it, I heard random clicks, and I'm like, doesn't sound good, but I'll keep going. And then one day, it just didn't want to let my computer start up. So I literally had to, because I figured I knew what drive it was that failed. Once I unplugged the SSD, I plugged all the drives back in, started right up. The drive literally croaked. And I don't have a way, I haven't taken it to somebody to get it restored. I'm pretty sure the stuff on it is gone, but at the same time, I'm very fortunate that literally over 90% of the stuff that was on that drive were game installs anyway. Did it give me a blue screen of death? It did not give me a blue screen of death because my PC did not want to let me log into Windows at all. So, in one sense, it was like a black screen of meh. It just didn't want to go. I couldn't even. I think I got as far as my BIOS screen, and that was it. So once I literally unplugged it, I was fine. I'm thinking about getting like an external enclosure or something for it, so I can hook it up to my computer via USB and see if I could actually save any of the documents and stuff on it. But again, like I said, as far as I remember, over 90% of the stuff on that drive was game installs anyway, so I should be fine. I mean, yes, it caught me off guard, and yes, it was not fun having to. What am I trying to say? It was not fun trying to or having to reinstall stuff. But at the same time, we were fine. We were fine. Because I was able to, keep going. It wasn't a case of, like, my main drive went down, I'm toast. But that kind of taught me, hey, beef up your backup strategy. But I was glad that I was even doing that manually. If you get a blue screen of death when you boot up your computer, if you can't even see the BIOS screen when you start your computer, my assumption might be that there might be something going on with the motherboard. Maybe. If you can see the computer post, if you can get to the BIOS screen, if you can even see part of the Windows boot up process, then maybe you have an issue with the drive. But again, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I mean, you would probably start this whole, like, troubleshooting session by making sure you can do certain things. Can I turn on the computer? Does the computer even sound like it's starting up? Can I see the BIOS screen, or can I see the startup logo? Can I get to the BIOS screen? Then can I start the Windows boot up process? Can I get to Windows if I go through safe mode? Stuff like that. Okay, so if you are able to boot your PC and you are able to log into Windows, then that's when we start picking apart stuff like, okay, there may be a problem with one of the drives, there may be a problem with some peripheral, there may be a problem with I don't know. I mean, for all practical intents and purposes, it could be a power supply issue. I had a family member that actually had a computer that just would not run. It would not post, nothing. And they were like, "Do you think the power supply is shot?" I said, that probably is the case. If you can't even turn it on, check that out. And then they basically bought a replacement power supply, swapped it out, and they were fine. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I haven't used Event Viewer in a long time, but basically the point is, you're going to check out, you're going to look at the things going on in your operating system to see if something is triggering an application, which is making your computer go bananas and then just crash. Also, if you have a situation where you have a video card that doesn't have a lot of memory, or you have not that much RAM on your computer, and a lot of stuff is trying to start at the same time, maybe that could be part of the issue. But again, these are just assumptions I'm making up on the fly. I don't know what the total explanation is. But if it was my PC, then I'd probably be looking at stuff like that, or wondering why it was going on. Event 1001 of the code was blah blah blah. Okay. If you look up Event Viewer 1001 when you do an internet search, you'll probably either find something very specific or a whole category of errors that are going on. That 0x00000 error could be an indication of a location in memory that caused your PC to crash, or it could be an indication of a pointer to some kind of peripheral or some kind of application that was running, which caused everything to go bananas. What did you find when you looked it up online? I'm sorry that I missed it the first time. Because I'm assuming what happened was they said, oh, okay, this is gonna be a done deal, or like your hard drive shot, or your video card's on the way out. Yeah, we're cruising for a while. I can't see much of the ground beneath me, but I'm gonna be looking at Burbank off of my 1 o'clock down below the clouds. The WHEA uncorrectable error. Right, right. Unfortunately, that error is kind of like a wide range of potential issues, but at the same time, it doesn't really indicate something like that off the bat. I'm not sure. But some of the search engine results that I saw didn't explicitly say, like, okay, if you have a WHEA uncorrectable error, you're hosed. your hard drive's gone. You know, like something like that. It didn't say that. So, you know, is it that we have a problem? Maybe, but I'm not sure what else it could be. I mean, if an SSD and not like your main drive went away, if you unplug one of your drives that you know your operating system doesn't need to run and the problem goes away, then one of your drives could be faulty. If you remove if you like take some of the RAM out of your computer and you're suddenly way more stable, then that could be a problem as well. Right, right, gave up the ghost. Hmm. I know when my SSD croaked, I couldn't even boot Windows. Like it was just flat out Kaputski. It had to be unplugged because I think during the load-in cycle, it just detected the drive and tried to operate it, and it couldn't do a single thing with it. I think, I mean, an SSD is not a mechanical plate drive, but there was something most likely mechanical going on with the SSD that prevented it from being accessed. So, if you have the means to do so, maybe. Um, if you have the ability when you are pricing out those components, like if you're going to get them, and you have the ability to talk to somebody and you say, hey, this is what happened. Do you think me swapping these parts out is going to be a good idea? They're probably going to tell you at the store, assuming you're going to like say a Micro Center, for example, whether or not that's going to be a good idea. I mean, if you are going to be swapping out your motherboard and like say CPU, PSU, and SSD, then you're going to be covering a lot of ground for possible points of failure. And let me think. My yeah, my PC is gonna be hitting the 4-year mark this November. Yeah, so I feel you on that. I mean, I have a Ryzen 9 with 64 gigs of RAM and a 3060 Ti. I mean, it definitely shows its age with FS 2024, but it's still great for so many things. And usually every year I try to reapply thermal paste to the CPU cooler and CPU so that I don't have issues. And literally, I kind of had to do it this year because I started to run into performance problems with my CPU to the point where after I reapplied thermal paste, it's been way better behaved, which makes me think that I cooked through the paste, and instead of waiting a year, I waited like a year and a half or a year and 3/4 to replace it, which I don't want to do anymore. So, there's that. How far away are we from... Where was that blue... What waypoint was that? What waypoint? That waypoint was... Blythe. So we're 166 nautical miles away from Blythe. $400 Singapore dollars. i7 processors, I guess, yeah. I mean, there's such a... It feels to me like there is such a range of CPU performance when you say i7. I know there's like multiple generations of CPU processors, and I know there's overclockable i7s versus non-overclockable ones. I mean, if you get a beefy enough i7, you don't have to worry about overclocking or like undervolting it to get better performance. And for some people, even some streamers that I know, like Studio Canuck, I forget, I think he has a 7950, an AMD Ryzen 7950, and he doesn't overclock. I don't think he overclocks his I don't think he overclocks his processor at all. And my processor is overclocked. I have a 5900X, and I let the AMD Performance Boost Overdrive overclock it as necessary. But sorry, I let it go only up to motherboard limits, so I don't cross that line. It takes it as high up in terms of performance and temperature control as it can before it has to throttle back, which gives me reasonably realistic performance in the sim. I'm happy. I really am happy.
Southwest 197, Los Angeles Center. Expect the Hydra 1 arrival. Descent in about 20 minutes. If you'd like to descend now, just say the word.
Expect Hydra 1 arrival and descent in 20 minutes, Southwest 197. Okay. What's that? Sorry for the noise, I thought I had my microphone muted. Okay. Wow. Are we serious? Are we going to begin descending pretty soon? That's crazy. Let me... No descent path after... Limo. Okay, let me go ahead and get my approach altitude set before I forget. BIOS update might not hurt. Gypsy is 4,000. Set altitude 4,000.
4,000 set.
Okay, while you're doing that, let me double check the approach. Yeah, again, flap 30 selected. ILS 110.75, course 258. Yeah, we should be good. I'm pleased with that. On a lighter note, I was looking through Sim Market tonight, looking for some potential add-ons to play around with. I was going to play with the possibility of buying the Virtual Call Airbus A220. I had a reasonable experience with the Virtual Call E175 Embraer, but I figure it's probably better for me to wait for the A220 from Synaptic Simulations, because even with the other A220, which I think... Wait, I only think there was one A220, but there was another Embraer E175 series from Flight Sim Studio, and people are not reporting the best experience with that airplane either. So I'm potentially considering buying some scenery, and I don't have a lot of money to throw around, but I could probably buy like 2 airports or something, just so I can have it. I mean, I do design airports as well, but I'm not sure, and I'm trying to get myself back into the flow to keep working on scenery and to keep doing stuff like that. I've been busy with work, and I've just been cooking my brain to get stuff done. So suffice it to say, I've been doing my best to try to, stay on top of things. Well, I mean, I suppose it's not impossible to brick, like a computer if your BIOS update is bad, but I'd be way more concerned about, like a BIOS, not a BIOS update, but like I'd be more concerned about a major piece of hardware croaking on my setup to basically make the computer inoperable, as opposed to bricking something. I think there may be some fail safes that you can employ to prevent or make the chance of a major failure when you're actually updating something less significant. I mean, having power throughout the entire installation process would be great. That's why getting even a rudimentary uninterruptible power supply, like a plug with a battery, would probably be a good idea if you're going to update something like the BIOS, so that if the power goes out, you're okay. But that's only one potential thing. Hard to resist buying another aircraft. I've been able to resist buying aircraft for the most part. I only recently got GSX Pro and FS2CREW, and I bought I think the last aircraft I bought was the PMDG 737-600. Actually no, it was the PMDG 777. I can buy FS2CREW so I can have my friend help me out in the 777 so that we could do long hauls, like say, LA to Tokyo or New York to Amsterdam. But I'm wondering whether or not I want to do that. I'm not 100% sure. I like FS2CREW. I just don't know if I want to buy it again. I mean, it's kind of an open and shut case. It's like, well, I mean, it's going to be a very similar experience on a different aircraft, but obviously FS2CREW needs to get its systems to work for the specific buttons and switches and operational standards that certain aircraft have. I understood it the first time. Yeah. You bought the 738 the same day you got the triple. I mean, there are also two different use cases for aircraft. So, the 738 is a great domestic regional operator, and the 777 is not something that you're going to see flying from, like, say, Boston to New York. You're not going to see a 787 do an op from, I don't know, Miami to Jacksonville unless you're ferrying a plane. I mean, technically you could do that, just like technically you could take a 747 out of New York and land at JFK. Those would be ferry flights, but different use cases is what I'm trying to say. You were broke after that? I believe that. Yeah. I also am up on map scenery for American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm not a fan of the additional job add-ons that you can get. I don't care about whether or not I transport extremely heavy equipment. I just care about where I can drive. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I should be getting a call pretty soon to get ready to descend. I see a top of drop just outside of Blythe as we begin the drop. I've had a few flights in the 777. I can tell you it is a very enjoyable aircraft. I like it. It's definitely something that is a different plane. Like, it's a different aircraft. Like, flying a 737 and flying a 777 are two different things. Even if you're flying the 737-900 Max, the 777 is just a different bird entirely, different use case, different operational standards, different range. So, you might be able to get from St. John's in Canada to Dublin or Cork in Ireland on a good day, but if you're flying westbound from Ireland to the States or to Canada, you're going to have a hard time unless you configure your aircraft a certain way. Whereas flying a triples do, you know, eastbound, westbound, Atlantic, eastbound, westbound, Pacific ops all day. So you're good. Interesting. I know the default 747-800 has recently been updated by working title in FS 2020, and there was also the Salty Mod 747 that I used for a little while. I kind of like that plane. And then, you know, back in the early FS 2020 days, when Heavy Division was working on updates to the Boeing 787, I would fly that one on a regular basis. And then the Kuro mod came out where there was an even smaller version of the 787, which was the 800 variant. That was my jam for a while. Great variant, great flying experience. Yeah, seriously. Working Title did a phenomenal job. Once Microsoft and Asobo welcomed them into the fold, they got to work on making the other things, making the 747 and the 787 perform the way they're supposed to. Now I can fly the default 787X and do it well. Like, do it really well. So they definitely left their mark on the flight sim scene. That is for sure. Coming up on top of drop, I'm going to go ahead and set up my speed brakes right now, because I know once we start descending, stuff's going to happen really quickly. Okay, let me look upstairs one last time before I get a call from ATC. Yaw damper, fuel pumps are going, TR1 Gen 1 and APU gens are off. Gens are on, no lights. Window heats, probes. Yeah, we are what we're supposed to be. So I shouldn't have an off-schedule descent warning since we are at cruise, and then we'll begin descending down to our target altitude of 1135. In this case, it would be 1150 on the machine, but again, not worried about it. Iowa Scotsman, hello, welcome aboard. Hope you're having a very good evening, friend. I am on my way to Phoenix. I took off from San Francisco, I want to say about an hour ago, maybe more. And we are flying the PMDG 737-600. We're flying it with the SAYINTENTIONS virtual ATC network. And we're also flying with FS2CREW. I've got my friend Fabio, who is helping me fly this aircraft. FS2CREW also has a bunch of stuff that you can do without needing an animated first officer, but I paid extra for the animated first officer so I can see someone flipping switches in the flight deck for me. Wishing you and everybody watching a very good evening. And again, I want to take a moment to thank everybody that's tuned in and said hello today, whether you are commenting in chat or you commented and you dipped. Or you're lurking. I heart lurkers. You folks bring up the channel algorithm and you make the experience more, I guess, publicized for others. By you being here, you know, it's like the Twitch algorithm is saying, hey, there's somebody here. Let's draw attention to this place. So, thank you. We are less than 40 nautical miles away from top of descent. I believe that whatever order they give me to descend is at my discretion, because I'm probably going to use the top of descent marker to begin descending, unless of course they order me to descend immediately, because otherwise I'm going to be descending via the Hydro 1 arrival. And if I take a look at the arrival has a bunch of altitudes and such that I need to pay attention to. So I'm going to be descending
Southwest 197, contact Los Angeles Center on 128.15.
128.15, Southwest 197. I was saying you know, there's restrictions that I'm going to need to obey. 128.15. There we go. Center, Southwest 197 with you, flight level 390.
Southwest 197, Los Angeles Center. Good evening.
Tiring week, Iowa Scotsman. Yeah, I respect that. Thoughts on GA flying? I like GA flying. I don't do nearly as much of it as I should. I like flying business jets, and I have a couple of planes that could suit really well to GA flying, including the Cessna 414 Chancellor, which is something that I need to really get to know, as it's a great GA plane that doesn't have jet turbines. It's a twin-engine piston plane, and I do like flying in and around small airports. I occasionally like doing fake GA flights in helicopters to, you know, hover around places like Manhattan or cities. Just take a look at the scenery more up close and personal. Oh no, I'm gonna have to move my secret stash of emergency, you know, snack rations. It's all right. Ooh, a Mooney. Excellent, excellent. I remember when you had to keep the instrument refresher rate down to low because medium and high sucked up so much frame rate in the early days of FS 2020. I'm not sure what recent changes to, you know, recent patches have done for performance, but I think my instrument panel refresh rate is medium right now. In terms of non-jet GA, I think other than the Chancellor, I think I could probably do well in either one of the Diamonds or the Cirrus, the SR-20. But I might actually try the King Air as well. I haven't actually flown a turboprop, and I think I don't have a PC-12. I don't have. They don't have a freeware or a default PC-12 in here. There's a PC-6 that they got with the 40th anniversary edition, but the PC-12 would be a great plane to get. Of course, the free version of that would be the TBM 950. I had a friend tell me about a better thermal paste than the one I was using. I use Arctic Silver at the moment, and there is something that's better. It is called Cryonaut, Kryonaut, 1 gram, extremely high performance. Center, Southwest 107 is vacating flight level 390.
Southwest 197, say requested altitude.
Southwest 107 is descending via the Hydra 1 arrival. Let's see if the ATC picks up on this. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pick flight level 250 for now and see if it sticks to it. But let me see if I can get them to acknowledge the arrival. Center, Southwest 197 is descending via the Hydra 1 arrival. Okay, it either doesn't know or is perfectly fine with my instruction. So I'm going to treat it like the latter. I'm going to treat it like, hey, you know, the top of descent thing took over, we're descending now, and ATC's like, hey, fine, there's nobody around you, go ahead and descend. Reapplying thermal paste, the basic issue is less is way more. I don't know what thermal paste application is going to be like for, like, say, a laptop CPU and like a heatsink on top, but when I reapply thermal paste to my CPU, basically the thermal paste application is like one fairly sizable pea, like peas in a pod, less than a normal size pea, and then basically when the heatsink goes on, that goes pretty much everywhere. And then I do a Cinebench performance test, and I use Prime 95 for CPU torture testing, and then if the temperatures go way too high for way too long, that's probably a good indication that there's not enough thermal paste there, especially if the motherboard failsafe kicks over and the CPU, the computer restarts itself. So those are usually pretty good indicators to me whether or not the thermal paste needs to be reapplied. Most of the time, though, the thermal paste application I apply is usually sufficient. Okay, so from this point, I'd probably say we're going to be on the ground in about maybe 25, 30 minutes, which is cool. And then I will literally be done. I have control.
You have control.
Descent checklist, please.
Minimums.
1326 set. Set.
VREF and VTarget.
VRF 134, 139 set. 134, 139 set.
Auto brake.
Reset.
Recall.
Checked.
Final approach checklist complete.
Hey, Mwendo, thank you so much for the Tier 1. Wishing you a very good evening. We are on our way down into Phoenix using FS2CREW, my animated first officer next to me, and we're flying on the SAYINTENTIONS virtual ATC network. Pretty good day. Pretty good day. We're coming down. Been flying now for a little over an hour, I'd say. We're flying the 736 from PMDG. Any special text up front? I don't think so. It's a nice plane. keeping a sufficient layer of thermal paste between your CPU and whatever heatsink it's attached to is probably going to make things a bit better. Actually, quite a bit better, because proper heat flow or heat dissipation will help keep your CPU in a much better range of temperature. At least that's my guess. Okay, so let's see. We will eventually get down to 7,000 feet at Limo, and we'll need to be at, I think, 210 knots at that point. Let me see. Yeah, 210 knots. But at that point, we'll be pretty close to the ILS approach anyway. I am very happy with this flight today. I mean, I took off like almost like NASA standards out of SFO with like the 20 or 30 degree pitch. Just joking around here, but basically I had a bit of a runaway climb situation, which was mostly due to my use of the communications with FS2CREW, because that locks up my point of view. I can't move, so that was fine. We got everything sorted, and we were on our way. And now we're on our way down to Phoenix.
Southwest 197. Contact Albuquerque Center on 132.45.
132.45, Southwest 197. Alright, Crafted Fur, enjoy the lurk. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Center safe frequency again for Southwest 197.
Southwest 197. Contact Albuquerque Center on 132.45.
132.45, Southwest 197. Thank you. Albuquerque Center, Southwest 197, flight level 214 on the Hydra 1 arrival.
Southwest 197, Albuquerque Center, good evening.
Okay, so at this point, I think they've sorted out the whole altitude and me coming down through the arrival situation, so they know I'm coming on the arrival. The arrival has a bunch of altitude and airspeed restrictions, and the PMDG aircraft and, just VNAV following is good to handle all those. Most of them anyway, so we're actually on track to get done. Again, I can't say enough about how FS2CREW and GSX integration with the PMDG 737 have made airline flights so much more of a team sport now. It really, really feels like I'm not the only one aboard the aircraft in terms of running everything. I mean, you can pretend in your head that you have flight attendants with you, and yes, we all are to a certain extent, but the integration and everything working together to make the flight deck and cabin feel like people are actually there, I've never had a better experience. Okay, now let's take a look at the weather for Phoenix right now. Arrival weather, we're looking at winds 320 at 7, visibility's 10 statute miles, clear. Temperature's 23, the altimeter is going to be 2976. There we go. 2976 is set. VNAV is handling my descent for me. We're going to be crossing flight level 180 shortly, going down into the local pressures. I have local pressure 2976, excuse me, airport pressure 2976 set. ATC will also probably give me a different value or confirm the value that I've set right now. Auto brake 3 is set, speed brakes are armed. And
Southwest 197, Albuquerque Center, descend via Hydro 1 into Phoenix.
Descend via Hydro 1 into Phoenix, Southwest 197, which is what I'm already doing. So, we're good. We're good. Nothing for flaps yet, and I'll probably be controlling airspeed coming in. Again, we're going for 139er knots with a ref plus 5 speed. Excuse me, 139er knots is my ref plus 5 speed. Flight level 180 approach checklist.
Altimeters.
Set. Set and checked.
Thanks.
Auto.
Start switches.
Continuous. Set and checked.
Approach checklist complete.
Okay, so there we go. We are flying to Phoenix. Yup. And it looks like we're beginning the final phase of our descent. Well, not final, but we are past the 18,000 feet water line, so to speak. We're committing to the descent. And the next phase is basically lining up for the approach and landing this bird. Thanks again to everybody that stopped by this evening. Really appreciate the company. It makes flight sim streaming so much easier when there's even one person to talk to. I mean, I suppose there are some diehards out there that will literally stream to no one and still have a great time, and I think that's the whole point. Excuse me. If you have fun, then whether or not anybody watches you, you're still having fun. Wow, it looks like a solar power farm. There are a lot of solar
Southwest
panels
197, contact Phoenix approach on 124.1.
124.1 Southwest 197. See ya. Phoenix approach. Good evening. Southwest 197, 15,000 descending on the Hydro 1.
Southwest 197, expect the ILS runway 26 approach into Phoenix.
Expect ILS runway 26 approach into Phoenix, Southwest 197.
Southwest 197, Phoenix approach, good evening. Phoenix altimeter 29.74.
Altimeter 29.74 for Southwest 197. See if I can butter it. And we are going to be taking 26, not 25 like I had before, which means we're going to change the arrival. So, at least I think
Southwest 197, altimeter 29.74, correct?
Altimeter 29.74, Southwest 197. Okay, let me double check my flight plan. Phoenix approach, Southwest 197, request direct limo. Thanks for that, altimeter.
Southwest 197, receive direct limo.
Proceed direct limo, Southwest 197. Okay, let's wipe out that discontinuity, and now we have a direct to Limo, which basically means we're going to go direct to the last point on the mark on the approach, on the arrival before the approach. What do we have here? We have a flight sim pilot flying a Southwest livery in the US of A with a virtual first officer. We are on SAYINTENTIONS, so we have air traffic control, and I'm also flying with FS2CREW and GSX integration. Welcome,
Southwest
friend.
197. Contact Luke approach on 125.45.
125.45, Southwest 197. Approach, good afternoon, Southwest 197, 12000 on the Hydro 1. Let's see, we're going direct to Limo. We've got about...
Southwest 197, Luke approach. Good evening, Phoenix altimeter 29.77.
Altimeter 29.77, Southwest 197. The FO from Limited Options. Oh man. See? Told you it would make it. Steve, remember that. Or, to quote the current vernacular, hey, Nathan, how are you? Hey, buddy, good to see you. Now it's time to talk about work, flight plans, work, schedule, work. Oh, man. Okay, so we're actually not doing that bad on the approach. Let me turn my landing lights on so I don't forget them. And we've already got engine start switches to continuous. We have about 23 nautical miles to Limo. Oh man. Clearly, so many friends in chat today. But folks, if you don't know my friend Nathan's Planes, you might want to go check him out. He is a sincere flight sim enthusiast and somebody that makes a mission out of flying planes like the 737 and the CRJ with strong amounts of detail. So definitely go check him out if you want a close to study level flight sim experience. Okay, we're coming in at 10,000 feet.
Southwest 197, contact Phoenix approach on 123.7.
Phoenix approach 123.7, Southwest 197. $10,000 feet, attendance notified. Let's swap over to 123.7. Phoenix approach, Southwest 197, 9,400.
Southwest 197, Phoenix approach, good evening. Phoenix altimeter 29.74.
Altimeter 29.74, Southwest 197. Trim with your feet.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Nice.
as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their upright positions. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or an overhead bin. Please turn off all electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate. Thank you.
Yeah, gusty day, new airplane, couldn't have gone better. Fantastic. Welcome to Phoenix, everybody. We are almost here. Okay, so pretty sure we're going to be doing an approach into what is the waypoint? We're going to be taking it to Gypsy.
Southwest 197. Descend and maintain 5,000, turn right. Heading 105 vectors for the ILS, runway 26 approach.
Repeat last transition, orbit Southwest 197. Yeah, there goes orbit.
Southwest 197. Descend and maintain 5,000, turn right. Heading 105 vectors for the ILS runway, 26 approach.
Descend 5,000, turn right 150 vectors, ILS 26 approach, Southwest 197. I'm pretty sure I got my heading wrong, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. Heading select. And let's do manual descent down to 5,000. Let's do 210 knots and prep. Oh, wow. That's what you meant. Woof. This seems wrong. I must not have been paying attention. Approach confirm heading for Southwest 197.
Southwest 197. Descend and maintain 5,000, turn right. Heading 105 vectors for the ILS runway, 26 approach.
Descend and maintain 5,000, turn right, heading 105, Southwest 197. That's fine. I mean, we got room to turn around now, so that's fine. And
6,000, 5,000.
ILS 26 is set. What's the course heading? Let's pick it. ILS 26 is 258. So 258 is still good. It's still a good course heading, and 5,000 is going to be the missed approach. Don't care about the speed. Just get me there. It was the craziest thing you did.
Southwest 197, turn left heading 060.
Left 060, Southwest 197. Alright, let me let the boy do some stuff too. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Taking it down to 180 knots. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Okay, so I need to go to which waypoint? Jagal. Flying with Tony. Tony wasn't available, so my friend Fabio Ernesto is with
Southwest
me.
197, turn left heading 015.
But that story will begin shortly. Left 015, Southwest 197. Yeah, the Tony arc will begin soon. Okay, I think I'm gonna wait to put gear down until we actually get on the ILS approach. Look at that. It's gonna be a nice bright sunset approach into Phoenix.
Southwest 197, proceed direct Jagal. Descend and maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 26 approach.
Proceed direct Jagal. Please repeat altitude for Southwest 197.
Southwest 197, proceed direct Jagal. Descend and maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 26 approach.
Proceed direct Jagal. Descend and maintain 4,000. Cleared ILS 26 approach. Southwest 197. Let's get down to 160.
4,700. 4,000.
Gear down. Landing gear down. I think he likes gear down and flaps 15, but we'll get to that speed shortly. Gear down, flaps 15.
Landing gear down. Flaps 15.
Speed set. Almost there, friends. Almost there. Those of you calling Phoenix your neighborhood, you are almost home. Flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
You know what? I'm so overdue for a flight to Singapore in the sim. I should do that
Southwest
very soon.
197, contact Phoenix Tower on 118.7.
118.7 for Southwest 197. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Phoenix Tower, Southwest 197, established ILS, runway 26. Approach.
Southwest 197, Phoenix Tower, winds 280 at 6. Runway 26, cleared to land.
Runway 26, cleared to land, Southwest 197. No, back down, friend. Back down. Follow that bug on down. Before landing checklist. Before landing checklist.
Speed brake.
Armed, green light.
Landing gear.
Jakarta to Singapore, nice. Down 3 green.
2500.
Down 3 green.
Flaps.
30 green light.
Before landing checklist complete.
Catch up. So I'm pretty sure the Southwest Terminal is on the south side of the airport. Pretty sure. Okay, and we are not descending the way I want to, so we're going to be doing this manually. Because we broke the approach mode. Unless, of course, we didn't break the approach mode. No, it looks like we did. My aircraft. That's fine. Let's go chase the diamond for a little while. 1,500 feet per minute is not horrible. Jakarta. Winds are out of the west-northwest at 12, so we're not doing that bad. And now we've caught back up. Alright, now, let's see if I can rearm the approach mode.
1000.
1,000 feet.
Nope. It's okay. My aircraft. Below
Glide
glide.
slow. Glide slow.
We'll catch up. Alright, there we are. So autopilot's off. I'm about to switch auto throttle off after 500 feet. Winds are shifting a little bit, but not horrible. Landing.
500.
500, auto
Glide
throttle.
slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
We're fine.
Glide slow.
Disregard.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Minimums. Minimums.
Continuing.
100. 50. 30, 20, 10.
Ooh, a bit of a boing. Bouncy, bouncy.
Extended.
Reverse green, speed brakes up.
Boing.
Reverse is normal. 80 knots. Auto brake disarm.
60 knots.
60 knots. Auto brakes off. Flaps up. Flaps up.
Roger.
Okay to clean up.
Southwest 197, welcome to Phoenix. Contact ground on 119.75.
119.75, Southwest 197. Let's see where we are on the airport property. We are on Bravo. Phoenix ground, Southwest 197, departed runway 26 at Bravo. Looking to taxi to parking.
Southwest 197, Phoenix ground, taxi to C1 via Bravo, Romeo, Delta, cross runway 5 at your discretion. Have a good day.
Repeat last transmission, Southwest 197.
Southwest 197, cross runway 5 at your discretion. Have a good day.
Cross runway 5, my discretion. Have a good day. Southwest 197. Alright, so they gave me, I think I said C5 or C10. It's okay since I don't have custom scenery, so default scenery is not going to have the Charlie terminals and whatnot. But let's see, where are we? I think they said C5. Wait, stand by. Why did they say cross runway 5? There is no runway 5. Maybe that's why they got tired of talking to me. Alright, so basically, I think I'm just going to go down Tango to Delta and then basically go to Terminal 4 and see what I can find down there, which is pretty simple. Thank you, friends, for coming alongside this evening. 3 minutes. I think the APU is running. And we'll get the bleeds on as well. Lights can come off. Taxi light can come off. Can come on. Terminal lights can come off. Standard strobe. Wing lights are off. Lower lights on. Wheel lights can come off. And dual bleed situation, we're fine. That's Zulu. Okay, next one's gonna be Tango. Let's give it a little bit of pepper. We need to basically get going. I'm pleased. I'm happy that we got the stuff done. Parking checklist is next. And now we can turn off the flight directors as well. This should be Tango, yes? Yes, it is. Okay, right on Tango, left on, I believe I said Sierra or Charlie. Which one was it? Neither. Delta. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I didn't intend on being online for this long tonight, but this was a nice flight. Great chance to hang out with all of you amazing people. Thank you so much for stopping by this evening and for saying hello. Your presence is definitely appreciated and just made the experience that much more fun. I don't have a set schedule these days, so basically I just kind of stream when I stream, but at the same time, definitely happy to have you all aboard as I did a flight using not only FS2CREW and GSX, but also the SAYINTENTIONS network, which turned out to be a pretty fun time, to be completely honest. If anything, I'm probably going to start looking through flightsim.to for any default scenery updates that include proper, like taxi signs and whatnot. Not taxi signs, but proper signage for parking positions. I'm just going to go ahead and park up at a random place in Terminal 4, probably 1, 2, 3 posts away, and then basically I'll be good. This should be Delta, and then once we park up, the parking checklist will happen. I think the crew will ask whether or not they can actually disembark passengers for me. And hello, Eric Flight coming through with a party of 8. Hello, friends. The simulator pilot, thanks so much for stopping by. And Eric Flight, my friend, thank you for coming in. I have been flying on the SAYINTENTIONS virtual network tonight from San Francisco to Phoenix. We just landed in Phoenix probably about maybe 10 minutes ago at this point. Welcome. Welcome. We have been enjoying the PMDG 737-600 in Southwest livery. And I've been enjoying the company of my virtual friend Fabio Ernesto, the wonderful, wonderful first officer that I've been flying with this afternoon. Let me just double check my map. I think we have one more to go, the next sector, excuse me, the next concourse in the terminal. We enjoyed some wonderful airtime with friends and lots of memes. Just a great time to be had by all. So I'm going to pull up to a terminal, and probably this one here is where we're going to be coming in. I can go all the way to C1, which is all the way in, and then basically just park up, be happy, get GSX to help me out, or I can go for one of the edges, and then look all pretty on the edge, and then have all that open air and open sky, and have all those airplanes just show up. Not airplanes, GSX ground things. But wishing you a great day and everybody a great evening. Eric Flight, I hope you had a great time, a great stream tonight if you did stream. If not, hey, glad to see you anyway. Let's go ahead and actually get over here, I think. I think we're going to be going this way. So we're going to park up, turn off the taxi light, and we are dual bleeds right now. And then once I park up, we're going to go ahead and call in GSX to do everything it needs to for us. So I think we should be good right about here. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and set the parking brake. Parking checklist.
Parking brake.
Set.
Start levers.
Alright, let's see. 2 blues, 1 red. Engines are dead. This one too. There we go. Cut off.
Fuel pumps.
One on.
Window heat.
Off.
Probe heat.
Off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Hydraulic pumps.
Looks like electric's off. Electric's off.
Start switches.
Off.
Oil quantity.
$87, 93%. 87, 93%. Set and checked.
Hydraulic quantity.
Set and checked.
Radar.
Where is the radar? Is it up here? Set and checked.
Transponder.
Standby and zeros.
Parking checklist complete.
Alright, superb. So, I believe we're ready to get folks off the plane. Let's call GSX to handle that. Deboarding requested. Wow. And we'll take Southwest. Whew. What a fun flight today. I didn't get everything right, but we had a great time. Alright, so we should have people coming to the plane to take care of our luggage. We do. And it looks like we just beat the sun down. There we go.
Goodbye. Passengers deboarding starting.
See if we can see them deboard. At least. Alright, so, door looks open to me. Let's go ahead and watch them deboard the plane. Evening, sir. Let's see if anybody's actually deboarding or if we're actually looking in the wrong spot. Nope. We see him. That's dope. Some of this stuff is just not going to get old for me. Well, yeah, I mean, they were flying for a couple of hours. We went from Frisco to Phoenix. Good stuff. Alright, well, I guess I'll see you all over by baggage claim. Sometimes it just stops for a moment. Don't know why. But I guess it's just the way it works. Ah, that's fantastic. So we got a lot of passengers to go, but the deboarding process is speeding up. And while we're deboarding, let's go back to the interior view. Oh, all I have to do is call the terminating checklist. That's fine. I'll keep this here. I like looking at passengers leave. Thanks again to everybody that hung out with us today for today's flight. Again, we did San Francisco to Phoenix, Southwest 197. We did that on the SAYINTENTIONS network. and had a fun time. Big flight out past the Catskills to November 2-3. Very nice. Very nice. I am debating the idea of possibly getting FS2CREW for the triple as well, especially if I plan to do any kind of long hauls, because I think that would make things a lot cooler for long distance flights like that. Looks like we got a lot of folks leaving. You figure there wouldn't actually be a backup exiting an airplane, but I don't know. Stranger things have happened. Well, that would be dope. Hey, how you doing? Living the dream. That would kind of be funny. Do we have ground power available? We do. Let's go ahead and starve the APU. Turn it off. Alright, strobe lights off. Isolation valve was open a long time ago. We can turn off the packs at this point. People are getting off the plane. Recirc fan off. APU and engine bleeds off. Ground power is set. And yard damper is off. We can also turn off the nav switches since we're parking up for the night. And that, I think, short of turning off the ground power and turning off the battery, is what we need to do.
Do you want to deboard crew?
Yes, I do. Where the FO starts ranting at crew. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. You are too many things, sir. Okay, so the crew should start leaving shortly. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your services this evening. Ladies, until next time. There was one flight I did when I went on vacation. I think this was when we flew down to Orlando. We flew American, and I tell you what, I know that flight attendants have to be trained to operate in multiple situations, and you know, some people take their job very seriously. But I'm telling you, there was a dude that was absolutely jacked as a flight attendant. I mean, homeboy was like gun show all day from like the time we left all the way till we arrived.
The boarding started.
He just took care of himself. That's all I gotta say. All right, there goes one, and here's the other. There goes here comes Ernesto, Fabio Ernesto. Come on, friend. Doing the moonwalk. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And we will see you all later. Hello, the ice pad. I felt bad. I felt bad to get sprayed with that stuff. You know, like mess up your clothes. But the funny one was like, huh, this looks suspicious. Your driver's license expires in 2 months. and this photo on your pilot's license, it's too old. So we're gonna need a jerk boy jack. It's like, oh my word. Oh, wow. This was a great flight. I'm happy. We made it down, and the terminal, goes all the way into the terminal, blah blah blah. So we made it. We got down to Phoenix. Look at that beautiful sunset, man. nice default airport, a wonderful experience with FS2CREW, GSX integration, PMDG, as well as SAYINTENTIONS. This was amazing, absolutely amazing. Making the most of those hotel gyms, you better believe it. Tomorrow is Good Friday. I celebrate my Savior Jesus Christ, who died for my sins on the cross. And Easter Sunday is when we celebrate his resurrection from the dead. To my friends and brothers and sisters in Christ that celebrate Good Friday to you, and wishing everybody a great rest of their evening. I do not believe I will be streaming at all this weekend. So, suffice it to say, if I do stream on Sunday, it'll be a bit of a surprise. Otherwise, probably similar schedule for next week. Like I said, normal days but busy days, and I'll be trying to get into a better situation. I was trying to mention this before. Today was kind of a weird day. My brain was kind of sapped, but at the same time I had a chance to get some rest in, and I'm very happy I did. Again, seriously, thank you to everyone that said hello today, and to everybody that lurked. It was a pleasure having you all aboard. It is about 1:30 p.m. I'm sorry, 1:30 p.m. 1:30 a.m. my time, and I am relatively sure that most of my friends are either sleeping or not doing the thing. But if I check real fast, I can probably see if anybody's actually on right now that I can refer you to. And it looks like my friends are actually doing some flight simulation. So, let's do this. Let me see who I can say hello to. Time for you to get your man. Which one? The one where they're talking, or the one where it goes warp speed? Oh my gosh. I remember that. That was funny. Funny. So, let's see. What are my friends doing? I think I'm going to introduce you folks to my friend Sticky Rice. If you haven't already met him, we're going to go ahead and raid Sticky, and you can actually do a Sticky Rice raid without having to type out the entire name, probably through my dashboard. Let me see. Raid channel. I should be able to see Sticky Rice. Quick filters following. Okay, great. This should take me through it faster. And I think that my other friend already landed, so we should be fine. Where's Sticky Rice? Here we go. Sticky Rice is on. Looks like he's doing FS 2024. We're gonna go ahead and say hello. Again, folks, seriously, you are amazing. Like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. Take care, buddy. Take care, everybody. Until next time.